Okay, first of all, hey everyone, can you guys hear me? And is my screen visible? Also, is my face visible?
Yes, you are.
Okay, thanks. Yep, let's go ahead. And today's session will be actually on a guide to cloud computing. And since most of you, before we start, let me actually tell you, please mute yourself and please keep your videos off so that we can actually have a smooth experience with everyone and so that it utilizes less bandwidth. Also, I will be turning off my face cam after a while so that you guys don't face any latency issues. And with all that being said, so hey, first of all, how's everyone doing? And I hope everyone is doing great in the chat. And also, what's up with that prank that your university just played upon you about colleges reopening again? Throughout this session, please, actually, if you have any queries, please write that down in chat. I will be monitoring your chat throughout this entire session. And so I will be able to see what you guys are typing and what you guys are, okay, let me accept it. Yeah, and what you guys are typing and what you guys are asking, any questions or anything. Now, please note that this is just a beginner session. So I'm not expecting you to have any knowledge of cloud, and I'm not even expecting you to know about how the whole internet works. So I will be explaining everything from scratch, and then we will proceed further. Let me just turn off my face cam so that there are no latency issues. Someone just ping me on WhatsApp. Yeah, I think we are good to go. So let's begin. First up, quick introduction about me. Hey, I'm Ishan, and I'm just another sophomore, like many of you from Chicago University. I know many of you people are from first year, you're freshers, but still the majority of people are from the second year. So, and I'm so actually, please note that actually in this picture, in this photograph that you are watching, I might not look that handsome, but in real life I look way better. Trust me on this one. Apart from that, I am a software developer intern at PU Stack. It's a company called PU Stack, and I am the Google Cloud facilitator for Chicago University, Punjab campus. Apart from these designations, I am an app developer, a web developer, and a UI UX designer. If you'd like to know more about me, actually, I have written a bunch of stuff about my achievements and all. Feel free to grab anything that you will like. I also love writing blogs on several different subjects in several communities, dev, forum, and others. And I have influenced over 10,000 developers. I talk a lot, which you might realize by the end of the session. And I also love to interact with people, earn and give swags, click selfies with people and all, but obviously we are currently in a virtual setting here. So we will have to skip on that one. But obviously you guys can always take screenshots and tag me or DSC site or anyone. Yep. So I hope everything's good. Let's proceed further. I will share how I started with cloud, why you should even listen to me, and what was my journey with cloud. See, I have been using cloud services from the past, I would say, 3 or 4 years now, and I've used these providers from AWS, Azure, GCP, and GCP is compute engine mainly. And actually, I mostly use all these for my personal projects, like hosting Node.js websites, uh, using some machine learning models or other stuff. So yes, I do know a thing or two about cloud, but not that much. So let's begin with the question: what is cloud? I hope you are able to see that on the screen. Is it not visible? Just wait. Yep. Let's begin with this question: what is cloud? Actually, to be honest, I think to begin with, in a beginners friendly session, I think this question is not the correct way to start. And actually, your question should be, how does the internet work? And can anyone tell me in the chat? Do you know? Does anyone know? Like, I just want to know what happens when you type google.com. Okay, the animation. Yeah. What happens when you type google.com in your browser's address bar and hit the enter key? Does anyone know what happens? Please write it in the chat. Okay, Harshit is saying it sends request to the server with that search query. Yep. That's one way of putting it. Anyone else? Yep, Jagreet. Handshake related. Nice. Okay. Yeah, Garima, Google opens. Yeah, correct. But actually, I was asking about a bit more technical terms, but that works. Okay. So what happens is, let's say this is your web browser. Let's just animate it. And when you type anything in the web browser, what it does is it basically calls your router. It talks with your router and it reaches out to the ISP, your internet service provider. Then at your internet service provider, there is this service called DNS lookup. If you don't know what DNS lookup is, actually DNS addresses are just these random numbers, like the one that I've written, 172.168.21.83. Actually, if you try to visit that one, it will open up my website. It's my own DNS. It's not from Google. But let me explain. Actually, let's see what this DNS lookup is all about. First of all. Oh, okay, Rajat. We actually for the APIs, we will talk about that in the next session or something when we do the quick labs. Uh, APIs are beyond the scope of this session for now. Just proceed with what I have planned, and we can talk about later. Sure. Okay. So here's the thing with DNS. It's tough for the every domain there has a DNS address associated with it, and it's actually tough for users or anyone. Let's say I'm trying to visit google.com, and it's tough for me to remember this address. Like whenever I open the address bar, I will have typed this 172.168.21.83. That's just not a good user experience. And if I want to visit youtube.com, I will have to remember another DNS address or another thing. It's sort of like phone numbers. You never like most of you don't remember your friends' phone numbers. That is okay. Okay. Is my voice better? Are there any lags or anything? Someone actually just pinged me on WhatsApp that my audio is having some issues. Oh, okay. Thanks everyone. Okay, so every domain has a DNS address associated with it. And think of the DNS lookup service as a phone book directory. Like similar to how whenever you're trying to call up your friend, you just search for a name. And whenever you search for the name, you can just directly call him. You don't have to remember his phone number or anything. This is exactly how DNS lookup service works. It takes up that domain name and gives you back an address, a DNS address, which and it actually tells that to your ISP. Then what happens is, let's get back to the flowchart that where we were. And then what happens is, your ISP actually calls that server with that DNS address for a request. And that request, and once the server receives that request, it sends a response. This response is then just sent back again to a web browser, and this is how everything works. Now, I will be honest, like everything that I mentioned right now, this was just a very simple way of explaining this. But in actual reality, it is way more complex with things like these load balancers, TCP/IP, deep ceiling cables, IPv6, God knows what else. We won't be able to cover everything in this brief session. Like that would take entire week on its own to explain how the internet works. But I just wanted to give you a basic idea of how everything works. And we will be using most of these things like load balancers and all. And I think actually many of you might have used this in your quick labs quiz or other stuff. So let's ask another question. You would be asking, but hey, Ishan, why do I need this cloud? Why are you telling me about this? what does it has to got like what it has to got to do with the web or mobile apps or everything that I mentioned previously. So what happens is, let's say you are a coder, like the most of you are software engineers, and you are creating some mobile apps, or what you will create. You will create some websites or desktop apps, or let's say you are just working on some other core services. Now, you know how to write code, you know how to make them, let's assume. But what happens next? Like, you have written the code, your app is working, that's fine. You have written the code, you have a working website, that's cool. Like, you have a template or anything. But now you want to share it with the rest of the world. How will you do it? Like, you need to deploy it somewhere, so that like if you have a website on your local computer, you will have to share that .zip file of your whole code. Unless you do so, I won't be able to visit your website, right? So you have to share this URL only. So this whole process of basically publishing your website or application or anything is called deployment. And now this is where cloud plays a very crucial role. And the major benefit of using cloud is, like, all these services can be integrated with each other. The cloud on the backend will communicate with your mobile app, with website, and other core services to provide a seamless experience. So coming back to the question that we asked at the start of this session, what is cloud? I think actually we are now in a better position to answer what cloud is, because now we know how the web works, like only a basic intro of how the web works. So let's see. In very simple terms, to be honest, cloud is just using a remote computer which is owned by someone else. That's it. Like, let's suppose that there were days like around 6-7 months ago, before this lockdown period and all, I was sitting in my hostel, and I had this project on my computer that was here in my home, and I wanted to get access to those files. One thing that I could do was I could just ask my mom or dad to actually just put that in a pen drive, or just email me, create a zip or anything. But actually, I will in that case I would have required to give them very specific instructions on which folder to navigate and all of the stuff. So what I did was, I remotely controlled my computer. I was sitting in my hostel, and I wrote this SSH. This is a protocol. Yep, Rajat, it's SSH. Are you a Linux user? Yeah. So I SSH into my remote computer here, and then I got all my files. So what actually? Let's see what's the difference between, like, as I said, that cloud is also just a remote computer. So why do you need it? Like, what's the difference between your computer that you have at your home and the cloud? So let's see what are the differences. First of all, the remote computers in clouds are 24/7 available. Yes, Sanchita, cloud is similar to a server. Like, cloud computing is a broad term, and server is just the hardware, short part of what cloud is. And let's see what are the more differences. Like, on a cloud server, you have internet. Like, internet speeds are really very good, man. They are like 1 gigabits per second, and they can be more than that. But on your internet, like at your homes or something, I think most of you might have just 20 megabytes per second or 50 megabytes per second internet connection speeds. And other differences, like at our homes, like normally in our laptops or desktops, we have 8 gigabytes of RAM, 16, or if you want to go extreme, there are 64 gigs or 128 gigs. I think that's the maximum of how average people work, like how average people's computers look like. But on remote computers on cloud, you can have terabytes of RAM in just one single machine. And next, your process, like your systems have less compute power, while cloud ones have high compute power. For example, like, let's say you get these cards, like all of you might have heard about this new NVIDIA RTX 3090 or something, right? So they are extremely powerful cards. But have you ever heard about these NVIDIA cards called NVIDIA Tesla K40 or something. Has anyone heard about them? Or even has anyone heard about the RTX? Yep. So the RTX one, they cost around 1.5. I'm not sure about the price. Don't quote me on this one, but I think it's near about 1 lakh to 1.5 lakh or something. But the Tesla K40, it costs around 8 lakhs or something, and it's actually not for consumer based. They are only used in server grade machines, and like you can just readily buy them. You can just go to a shop or just open Amazon.in and order one. So yeah, Rajat Quattro is also one of them. Quattro is a very expensive card. Uh, so also the fifth most important factor, like if you have watched Ashish Chinchalani's video on YouTube, बिजली का बिल तेरा sorry, it was the next point, sorry, you start. बिजली का बिल कौन भरेगा? Like if you are having a computer which is running 24/7, your mom will definitely pick up a slipper or chapel or and throw that in your face because of the bill. Like you can afford it, and whenever you need to upgrade, you have to purchase new hardware. But in case of remote computers, you can just rent it out easily. Okay, so I will be showing you a picture now. Can anyone guess in the chat of what this is? Please write down in the chat. What do you think this is? Okay, server room, server farm, cloud server. Very good. Yep. So this is how a typical data center looks like. And trust me on this one, those are actual real computers which are like set up in the rack, like in either at your house or in your hostel cabinet. And they are, yeah, exactly, Rajat, it's a RAID config. And they're stacked on top of each other. So this, and these are so much well maintained, and actually don't quote me on this one, but I think many of them would cost around like millions of dollars, which is in this room here. And let's now move on to one of the best things I love about cloud. Like this is one of my personal favorites. On-demand service. You guys must have played this game, PUBG, at any point in your on your devices endlessly, right? Please write F in the chat because PUBG was banned. Like if you would like to pay some respect only. Yeah. So let's suppose that you are Tencent, like not a Chinese one. Let's suppose you are an Indian app developer and you are Atmanirbhar, and let's suppose you are the developer of this game. Okay. Now, initially, when you are developing this game, when you are creating this game, you are planning that at most around 1,000 people will play it in the first month, and so you go out and you buy hardware for a basic server, and you release the game or launch the game to the public. Now, you you launch the game and you let's say it was night. You launch the game at evening at 6 p.m. Around 6 p.m. and then you just want to go to sleep or something. The next day when you woke up, you realize that your game went viral and it crossed your expectations by 100 times. Like you were initially expecting that around 1,000 people will play it in the first month, but that went like a boom. That chart went like boom, and there were around 1 lakh people who were playing that. Now, what will you need to do in such a situation? Either your app will crash, or you will need to buy some more hardware to keep up with the increasing demand, to ensure that these people are having okay, Rajat, actually, we will talk about that later on, please. I just want to talk about cloud computing for now, not about Kahara and all. We can talk about that later on. Yeah. Okay. So, and what will happen is eventually, at some point of time, the cost of purchasing and maintaining these servers will actually exceed the amount of profits that you were making on that app. And this is where cloud comes in. With cloud's on-demand service, you can actually easily scale up the amount of processing that your app requires or the users require, depending upon the demand. And and there are also additional benefits like pay as you go. So you only have, yeah, like you will only have to pay for the services that you're using, for the computing resources that you are using, not a single penny more than that. And these services, the main, also one more main thing is, hey, just hold on a second, please. Oh, okay, sorry, actually, it was someone was calling me. Okay, so one more major factor about this is 99% guaranteed uptime availability. Let's say you have a server at your home, like you are using your desktop computer as a server, and you are hosting your website on there, and suddenly electricity goes away, and like you don't have any backup at your home and nothing. Electricity goes away and your computer shuts down, or like let's say some idiot just cuts down the fiber optical cable that was coming to your home, and your internet goes down. So you will lose the visitors, and you will lose the money, and you will lose all the profits that you were making. But with cloud, you get guaranteed 99.9% uptime availability. And even in a case of a natural calamity or disaster, like even if some one server goes down, there will always be a backup, so that you can ensure that your let's say your users have a very smooth experience. Now let's see about what are the different services which are offered by cloud. And there are actually basically three main types of services which are offered by cloud. This includes most of the other clouds as well, cloud providers. AWS also offers these services, and yep, IaaS, yes, Harshit, yes, that was correct. Infrastructure as a service. Uh, AWS, Amazon Web Services, Google Cloud Platform, and Azure. All three of them provide you with these type of services. So let's first talk about infrastructure as a service, or as said by Harshit, IaaS. Infrastructure now includes all the raw resources, like such as a virtual machine, networking. Like if you guys don't know what a virtual machine is, we will actually cover that later on in our next session. I have planned that because we have a quick labs on virtual machine. Don't worry about it. Infrastructure actually includes raw resources. Okay, Chirag, that's beyond the scope of this session, creating pull requests in Hacktoberfest. Please visit our YouTube channel after the session, and we have some recorded session over there. Okay, so as I was saying, infrastructure includes raw resources such as virtual machine, networking, like basic internet and all, storage, and other stuff. These resources are actually the fundamental building blocks of cloud computing. Let's say you have a computer, like when you use infrastructure as a service, it basically just gives you the hardware. All the software on top of it, you have to configure everything on your own. That's in the most layman terms, that is how infrastructure as a service works. For example, consider a virtual machine. You need to install, upgrade, or patch all the software required to run your application. Let's say I created a website which doesn't run in Internet Explorer, and on a virtual machine I have an Internet Explorer. I know Linux doesn't have Internet Explorer, but let's suppose it's a Windows server or something. So you can configure your virtual machines to scale up based upon the load on your application. Some examples of these services include Google Compute Engine, networking, load balancers, and lots of other stuff which we will cover later on. Now next comes platform as a service. So platform as a service actually gives you, platform related platform as a service actually gives you all the things which were included in the infrastructure as a service, and gives you a few more things on top of that. Like it will give you a pre-configured virtual machine environment node. Let's say that I created a Node.js backend website and I just want to deploy it. I don't care about which operating system it's running on, or which version of Node.js is there, or all things like that. In those cases, I will use platform as a service, and GCP will actually give you a pre-configured a virtual machine, uh, pre-configured virtual machine in which Node.js is actually pre-installed. So some of the examples include Google App Engine and so other stuff. Actually, if I say more things about these services, you will get confused as a beginner. Like there's so much to learn. In GCP, there are like more than hundreds of services. So let's not talk about all of them. Okay, with software, now next part is software as a service. In software as a service, actually, your entire application is managed by the cloud. For example, let's consider Gmail. Whenever you use Gmail every day, right? Even this, yeah, or let's say this meet session that we are having on. This okay, Aman, we will look at that Jamboard. Please don't use that feature for now. Like we are not planning to use that Jam file. Yes, Arthi, I will take your question after, like in the end, I will have a questionnaire asked, and I will take your questions or all your queries there. Is that okay? Yeah. So Gmail is one of the example of software as a service. Like you just send emails to everyone. You use Gmail. You don't have to pay for it. Like actually, you can pay for it. You can go to the Pro version or G Suite, but you just send simple emails and it does rest of the stuff. You don't have to worry about any hardware which is running on the back end or what kind of virtual machine you are running on. Nothing. So Gmail is an example of that. More examples could be cloud messaging that you might know of. And there is this thing called PubSub in Google Cloud. We can talk about this later on. So, okay, this was actually pretty much that I wanted to cover about cloud for now. And we are already around 40 minutes into this session. So, let's see what we have next. Next up, I will be talking about the 30 Days of Google Cloud program, which you guys are enrolled in. So, basically, in this program, we will help you to begin your journey in cloud with the help of GCP. And actually, Google Cloud team is very generous that they are sponsoring this. You will be given around 600 credits, which you can directly use to complete labs and all. In reality, if you want to purchase these credits, each credit costs you around $1. So think of these 600 credits as actually $600, which converts to if you have in Indian mind, so that actually converts into around 43,000 rupees or something. Can anyone just Google it? Actually, I am not sure about the exact figure, but it's somewhat near. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Uday, please actually write that query on the Slack so that I can help you out, or just DM me on Slack. Yep, Harshit said 43,959. So it's actually around 44,000 worth of credits. And on top of that, if you complete these challenge labs and all, you will receive goodies and swags like t-shirts from Google and other stuff. Okay, let's not go into the decimal version like 43,887.53. I just wanted to have a basic idea, but still thanks. So with this program, you can actually acquire some exciting goodies, soft skills, how to speak with people, and how to interact with the community and all. And that's pretty much it. Once enrolled, you can actually begin with these two tracks, which we have in the program. One is cloud engineering, and the other one is data science and machine learning. Upon successful completion of the program, let's say you complete at least one track, you will receive lots of goodies from Google and obviously a certificate of appreciation directly from Google. Also, one more major benefit of this whole entire program is actually whenever you complete a quest, or a quest actually consists of around 6 challenge labs or 5 challenge labs, depending upon the duration of the quest. But whenever you complete one quest, you will earn these skill badges. Now, in the cloud industry, actually, these skill badges do have a lot of respect and value. So you can actually add this to your portfolio or LinkedIn or any way you like. You can actually even show this on your resume. to a recruiter. So to get those industry skills, you can begin your journey with the 30 days of cloud program that we have. Garima, yes, you can actually you can, go to your profile and attach these. Rajiv, you will get these if you have enrolled in the program and if you complete at least one track before November 5th. Nishant, actually, the registrations have expired. The registrations have closed, sorry. The last deadline was, I think, 30th September, 7 p.m. So let's go with the contents of this program. We have 2 tracks, as I told you. Okay, Utsav, actually, you can choose anyone which you like. It's totally up to you, to be honest. But for the online meetings that we will be conducting, at first we will be focusing on the cloud engineering track. Yes, agreed, you can do both. If we do both of them, if you complete both of them before November 5th, you will get 2 t-shirts, a few stickers from Google, and also a laptop bag. I hope that answers all your queries. Let's focus on the contents of the program. Actually, hey guys, I will be taking all the questions by the end of the session, so that people don't feel lost with this whole presentation and all. Let's just take the questions in the end. Is that okay? Yep. Let's proceed further. So we have 2 tracks, as I mentioned before: cloud engineering and data science and machine learning. Let's go over each one of these one by one. First up, we have cloud engineering. Now, with cloud engineering, you can actually, by completing the quiz in the cloud engineering, you will learn to explore and deploy solution elements, including infrastructure components, like I mentioned before, such as network systems, application services, load balancers, and bunch of other stuff that we talked previously. So we have a total of 6 quizzes under this track, and you will be doing the first one today. That is getting started with create and manage cloud resources. I will share links to these in the Slack group. Please join that if you haven't. And for the rest of the quiz, there is also a challenge lab in each of the lab. So you will have to complete them on your own. We will only be covering the other tracks. So if you face any issues with the challenge labs, so we have some. Yes, Rajiv, I hope someone can share the link for the group. Okay. For the rest of the quiz, you will have to complete them on your own. But don't worry, we will provide you with enough support so that you can complete them. And the next track that we have is data science and machine learning. To be honest, in the online sessions, we won't be focusing much on this one, on this track. But if you are interested in this, please feel free to do that. And if you complete both of these tracks, you will earn 2 t-shirts and a bag, as I mentioned before. And I will be sharing links to these in the Slack group as well. By completing these tracks, you will learn and demonstrate proficiency in key topics, which are actually mostly related to big data and machine learning. And actually, it's not more about learning the theoretical part of machine learning, but how you can use these APIs to implement machine learning in real world. For example, like a very fundamental example is cat versus dog image, right? You want to use machine learning to classify whether an image that user uploaded is a cat, has a cat in it, or has a dog in it. So you don't have to know the basics of machine learning, linear regression, or cascades, or all of that stuff. You can just use the Google Cloud Vision API, and what you can do is just upload that image, and that API will tell you on its own what that image includes. So let's talk about the Google Cloud skill badges, in detail. Basically, after completing each quiz from either of the tracks, you will have a chance to earn these skill badges, as I mentioned before. And they are actually used to show that you have actually applied your new learned skills using a challenge lab at the end. where you have to take your new learned skills to a test trial. You can see some of the skill badges here on the right side of your screen. Yep. And there's one more benefit of these uh, skill badges. After you acquire them, actually, and please, one thing I forgot to mention. After you acquire them, do remember to add them on your resume or LinkedIn or other professional network, so that you can prove it to your network that you have the in-demand skills which are required by the industry. And please use the hashtag 30 days of cloud for sharing these, so that it is visible to the entire community. And even people from Google will like to see that, and they will support you, or they will give you a shout out. So let's go over to the best part of all this, like the most motivated part, the milestones and prizes. Let's face it, we all love swags. Like, I love swags. I will give you an honest confession. I go to most of these events. Like in most cases, I go to these events. Okay, Sukaran, you are. Sukaran, everything is free, but actually, please, I will just answer the question in the discussion time after this. Okay, sorry. Let's go back to the meet. Let's go back to the presentation. I was telling about milestones and prizes, and I was actually sharing about my experience. Like, I go to most of these events, to be honest, like, to learn, but in some cases, I just go there to get these goodies, like these special t-shirts. And if you joined earlier, you might have seen that my face cam video. And even in that one, I was wearing one with from Developer Circles by Facebook. And yeah, collecting those stars is fun. Like, why? And actually, it's Hacktober season now, and I'm really sure that most of you might be creating 4 PRs to get the T-shirt and all, right? So if you complete the first cloud engineering track, or if you complete just one of the tracks, you will receive a participation certificate from Google, a T-shirt, and a sticker pack. And please note that you have to complete this before November 5th. And similarly, if you complete both of the tracks, the cloud engineering one and the data science, I think both of these include around 6 quests. So you will have to complete 12 quests and get around 12 skill badges. On completion of those, you will receive a participation certificate from Google again. And on top of that, 2 t-shirts and a sticker pack, and the most important part, most amazing thing, a laptop bag. Like, it would be nice to show off in the college wearing a Google t-shirt and having a having a bag with Google Cloud logo on your back, right? So let's get started. Enough about this theoretical part and all, and I will just walk you guys through quick labs. And if in case anyone hasn't got their credits and all, I will just show you how you can avail them, how you can claim them. But please make sure to claim them before 10th of October. After that, we won't be able to help you in any scenario. So here's a quick walkthrough. First of all, please note that always use an incognito window or tab whenever you are attempting a lab. Because what happens is, all these services that we are using, this GCP and all, these are actually paid services. Like, companies pay Google Cloud for these services, and they pay around millions of dollars per year. Most of them pay, like, you can actually also pay this. But just to make sure that you don't incur any billing on your personal account, please always try to use incognito window or incognito tab whenever possible, so that it does not store any cookies on your browser. Okay, so once you have opened the incognito window, you must have received this email, and there might be a URL like claim my credits, and there should be a button. Please use that URL that you received in the email, and find the and there should be an email with the subject 30 days of Google Cloud. You can just copy and paste that URL into the incognito tab. If you have already received the credits, then you can just sit back and relax until we get to the next part. So once you have reached this button, you reach this window, actually a lab will open up, a tour of Quick Labs and Google Cloud platform, and you just have to click Start Lab. Let me actually just share my browser screen so that you guys can see what's happening. Just give me a second. Okay, is my screen visible? Please write in the chat. Yeah, you are able to see my incognito window, right? Okay, so what you have to do is you just have to open google.quicklabs.com. You obviously you must be signed out. And once you do that, you will you must have received a campaign email, and you have to just click that link. There should be a link like this. I won't be actually typing the code. There must be a code like this campaign URL or something, but I won't be writing that just because I don't want to share it with you. It's a unique access code. Once you open that, this window will pop up. Welcome to your first lab. You can just skip this video here. Click the skip this video option, or like if you are a beginner, you can actually just watch it. It's a quick guide through to how everything works on Quick Labs. But we will just skip it for this session. And actually, if you applied for the program, you must have a sign-in with Google Cloud. You must have already have a Quick Labs account, so you can just press sign in. And let me just wait for my internet, and I can just quickly log in with my password. Once you do that, there must be you must see something like this. Okay, someone's trying to enter. Yep, and as I depicted before, you can just press the Start Lab button, and just verify that you are not a robot. You are a human studying in Chitkara. And let's just identify which is a mountain and which is not. Okay, thank God I passed the test and I'm a human. So once that's done, actually, if you want, for the first time, you can actually read these instructions and all. But I won't be going with all that. You can just press this open Google console button, and it will ask you for an email to sign in. Make sure to enter this username, which is given to you in the lab. So let me just zoom in if possible. Yep. Always just make sure to use this one. I will just copy this and paste it here. Press enter, or click next, whatever you want. And let's copy the password also. Let's enter and click next. And please note that you don't have to follow along. I'm just trying to explain it for those who haven't done. If you have done this already, no need to go over this again. I'll just confirm this. Let's see. Okay, a console window will should open, and based upon your country, which I'm sure yep, based upon your country, which I'm sure you are in India, you will be given some different terms in terms of service. Basically, you have to click accept and accept all of these, or you won't be able to access G-Cloud. So let's just click agree and continue. Once done, actually, let me walk you through what is happening here. On the top, you should be able to see this project. This is actually your project name, and this one is your project ID. Can you guys see it on screen? Please write that in the chat if you are able to. I mean, not write the entire ID, but just write yes. Yep. Okay, good. Now, this ID is actually very crucial for everything that you perform on GCP. Let me see, just get back to the PPT. Yep. So all the GCP services that you use, they are associated with a project and a unique project ID. See, the project name can be similar. Let's say that Yashank Bhaiya wants to create work on his project for, let's say, some college assignment, and I also want to work on a project for college assignment on my own. And now basically we have two different projects. So let's say both of us are trying to create a restaurant ordering website, a food ordering restaurant website, or let's say a website for Square One. Okay, and okay, I do the freshers know about the Square One? Like, hey, does anyone know about Square One? Has anyone visited Square One yet? Okay, in the Maths campus, is there a Square One there? Yes, Akshat. This recording will be actually uploaded on YouTube. You can see that later on. Okay, I hope that you guys get to see the Square One real soon. Whenever this lockdown situation, like whenever college reopens. Yeah, it's the best after we will have. Okay, Tanish, let's not get that much. Okay, Square One is basically just a restaurant, Nishant. Okay, let's get back to the presentation. Don't get distracted. I mean, I was the one who got distracted. Okay, so all the activities that you perform within your GCP project are associated with the project ID. And as I was taking that example of me and Yashank working on two different projects, which were kind of similar, like in the name. So his Yashank's GCP project and my GCP project can have the same name, restaurant website, but both of them can't have the same ID. The project ID has to be unique globally. Like if someone in US is working on a project and if you are working on a project, the ID should never be the same. Like, and you don't have to assign that. It will be done automatically. So this ID, this project is actually used to track resource and quota usage and enable billing, manage permissions on who can access and who cannot based on IAM that we will talk about later, and enable services and API. In a very basic example, I would say, let's consider that you're Paytm or you're just some startup and you want to have a website, an app, and you also want to create a desktop app. Let's say like you are Netflix, you have a website, you have a mobile app, and you also even in mobile app you have one for Android, one for iOS, and something like that. Yes, Bhavesh, like your Aadhaar card number, but that's not shared on your on some government portals or anything, and it does not include your fingerprint signature. But yes, for an analogy, you can say that. Uh, yep. So that was it, I think, about this one. Yes, agreed. One person can have multiple projects, and actually, even a single project can include different services. Let's say I want to have an app for the same project, a website for the same project, and some other thing for the same project. I can use a single GCP project for all three of those. Okay, so let's see what else do we have here. Okay, uh, let me just zoom out. On the left side, you should be able to see this billing. Okay, let me just zoom in again. Yes, Sarthi, these are temporary IDs and they get destroyed uh, after these two claps. Okay, you should be able to see these few buttons, few option navigation options. First is marketplace if you want to buy additional service or anything like additional plugins for services. And this is for billing. Like you won't be using this in the quick labs anytime soon. So, but in real case scenario, in real world scenario, actually you use this billing to add your credit card info or debit card or link with your net banking or anything or other services. So, yeah, because I told you it's a paid service. Now these are this is a dashboard for enabling APIs and all. Different APIs. Google Cloud offers different APIs, like I mentioned before, Vision API, a text-to-speech API, machine learning, and all this stuff. There's also a support tab which you can use to chat or just talk with the support, either chat with them, email them, phone, like have a call with them. Now this is where things get interesting. This is IAM and admin. IAM, it stands for Identity and Access Management Console. Let's get back to the PPT. Yep. Let me actually just change the slide. Just give me a second. Yep. Identity and Access Management Console, or IAM, actually helps you to manage who can do what and on which resource. Basically, the can do what part is defined by an IAM rule, and an identity and access management role is just a collection of permissions. Like most of the time, to do any meaningful operation, you need more than one permission. For example, you want to manage instances in a project. You need to create, delete, start, stop, and change an instance. So the permissions are grouped together into a role to make it easier to manage. Okay, so let's see. Let's consider our chalkboard for an example. You have a set of permissions. You can just view your marks that were uploaded, or you can just view your attendance. But you don't have the authority to either change your marks, change your grades, or just mark your attendance for a class that you didn't attend. God, I wish that was possible. And this is where IAM, like Chalkboard, you can consider Chalkboard's admin console to be somewhat similar to IAM, but not to that extent, like just on a very basic level. All your teachers have access to uploading the marks and all, but they can't add a new student into their class. For that, you have to go to the admissions department, and only they can do. So you can see like different people are given different roles on the basis of this. And this is basically what IAM is. Google Cloud IAM actually allows you to give a set specific permissions for different users to like on the basis of which desired permissions you want to grant to them. Now, one more main benefit that we forgot to discuss about cloud was the availability. Like you can actually like these big giants, AWS, Amazon, Microsoft, and Google. They have these their data centers all over the world in different locations. So what you can do is like, let's say I'm watching a movie on Netflix, and if Netflix is hosting that content in the US, then there could be some latency, right? Because all the data is traveling from the deep sea. Like actually, you know, a fun fact. There are these deep sea cables which allow you to like communicate with computers on different side of the world. There are these giant cables that run over 2,700 miles or something, and they are responsible for all the communications around the world. There are no satellites involved in internet, like in most of the cases, in most of the usual cases. So let's say I want to watch a movie on Netflix, and if Netflix is hosting all that data in a US center and I'm in India, then the latency would be too high, and the streaming experience won't be that good, to be honest. Like you guys know already. So what they do is they use these things called CDNs, or content delivery networks, which help you to optimize the data, which help you to set up multiple servers in multiple different locations. And whenever a user is coming from India, then it will send that request to the India server. And whenever the visitor is from US or China, then it will send that to the data centers which are nearest to them. Yeah. So this actually GCP also allows you to set a collection of zones, specific geographical locations, and isolated deployment and other stuff, multi-regional as I explained. Okay, let me see, something's wrong here. Yeah. Okay. So this was actually just a basic intro of about this, and you can see. Okay, is my screen visible? Yep. Apart from that, we have the security Anthos app engine. Actually, if you click on this navigation bar here, sorry, yep, navigation. You can see a full list of the services that GCP offers, and I guess it's near to 98 or something. And even in these, there are multiple services. All like we won't be able to cover all of these services for obvious reasons in these quick labs, but we will talk about the most important ones, which can help you get a basic idea of the cloud. And now I guess we have spent over 13 minutes on our lab, and we should get our credits. But before that, let's have a quick quiz. Can anyone answer this? Please write the answer in the chat. This builds a temporary environment in the Google Cloud. Which one? Okay, most of you are saying C. Let's try. Is that correct? Yep, it is. Cool. And what's for this one? Once the timer reaches, sorry, my tongue slipped. Okay, most of you are already saying true. I didn't even have to read the question. Okay, let's try that. Correct. Some labs have tracking which scores your completion of hands-on lab activities. True or false? Okay, someone actually just wrote F. I'm not sure. Is that for false or is that for replace or for just paying your respects? Let's try to. Yep, you were correct again. In order to receive completion credit for a lab that has tracking, you must complete the required hands-on lab. Is that true or false? Okay. Everyone is saying true. True OP in the chat. Cool. And everything was correct. I think we have a couple more questions down here. Let's see. Yep. Which field is not found in the left panel? You can actually see the left panel here on this side and decide the answer. B. Okay, BOP, system admin. Correct one. The username in the left panel, which resembles Google XXXX underscore student at the quick lab start head, is cloud IAM identity. Is that true or false? Terrorist. Okay, it's true. Correct. I guess these are all the questions, or maybe I think we do have a few more. Let's try. Yep. What about this one? An organizing entity for anything you build with Google Cloud. Yep. Man, you guys are damn fast. I didn't expect like most of you might know these answers, but yeah, that's good. What about this one? QuickLab's resources is shared read only with all QuickLab users, meaning you won't be able to delete or modify. Okay, people are saying true. Let's try that. Correct. QuickLab's resources is the project where you run all of your lab steps. Okay, many of them are saying true. Are you sure, guys? The answer is false. QuickLab's resources is not the place where you run all of lab stuff. You actually have to use this Google Cloud Console to complete all of your all of your steps in one. And we talked about the navigation menu. I guess, yep, we do have a few more questions. Offers quick access to platform services and also outlines its offerings. Which one? A. Okay, everyone is saying A. You are again correct. Is this your first time attempting this lab, or many of you have completed this lab before? Oh, okay, that's why. Okay, primitive rules set project level permissions, and unless otherwise specified, they control access and management to all Google Cloud services. What is the answer? True or false? Okay, many of you are saying true. Let's try our luck on that one. Correct again. Next one provides all viewer permissions, just permissions for actions that modify state, such as changing existing resources. Okay, Chirag Jan is spamming spamming so much. Okay, Chirag, I got your answer. Let's see. Address. Yep, correct. And I guess, yep, we have one more question. When you start a lab in class, you need to enable APIs in your project to start working with Google Cloud. Is that correct? Like we started our project right now. We started our lab. Did we have to enable any API service or anything? Okay. F46. Cool. Now this is one more thing that actually we didn't talk about in this lab, but there's actually similar to how you use this console and all. You can also use a command prompt like CMD. You can actually download the Google Cloud SDK and use G Cloud. Actually, let me just zoom that in. G Cloud, and there are like create, compute, create, instance, and bunch of other stuff like that. You won't need to download anything for the labs. I was just trying to just give you a basic overview. For the labs, you can just use the Quick Labs console, and you can always use this terminal from over here. This one, yep. Aman, in case you haven't received the credits, please perform these steps that I mentioned today. And if that's the case, even after attending that, please refer to Slack channel or just PM me or Bhavesh or anyone. Yep. So I guess we have now completed this lab. You just completed the first lab, so congratulations. We can now end this, and we are around 20 minutes into this lab. So once you have completed this lab, you should be able to see some credits in your account. There should be 600 credits. In my case, it's more like this is my other account. So yep, I can do so. Yep, something like this. So now let's talk about the quest that we will be covering first, and which is getting started, create and manage cloud resources. Someone will share the link to this quiz in the chat. Basically, what you have to do is go to the page that I will share, and you have to enroll in this quiz, getting started, create and manage cloud resources lab. Just click on the enroll in this quiz button, and you should be good to go. And this is the link. Someone will share that in the chat. Yep, this one. Rajat, the recording will be available on our YouTube channel, DSC site. Yeah, thanks, Bhavesh. Okay, sorry, I accidentally clicked there. Sorry. Yep. So once you open the link, you should see something similar to this on your screen. And as I have already enrolled in this quiz, so I can enroll. But in your case, if you haven't enrolled, you should be able to see a blue button with enroll in the quiz, and you just have to click that and enroll yourself in this. In this quiz, you will need to complete these labs. This one, a quick tour of Quick Labs and Google Cloud, which we actually just completed, in case you remember. And after that, we will need to complete this creating a virtual machine lab. We will be we will be taking a session on this in the next on the next day, whatever. I will be sharing the schedule in this PPT later on. And then actually you can do either of these. I would recommend you to try this one, creating a virtual machine, because it will help to actually give you an idea of what a virtual machine is and how virtualization and other things work. And after that, there's this lab, getting started with Cloud Shell and G Cloud, a quick guide in the Kubernetes engine, and setting up load balancers. And this one is your challenge lab. Please try to complete all these labs in the same order as they are depicted, And once you have completed all these labs, this challenge lab basically just uses all the commands that you used in the previous labs. But there's one major difference between challenge lab and the other labs. In other labs, let's say if I open this one, you should be able to see a guide of the steps that you need to perform. Like you would be given commands like these. But in case of a challenge lab, you won't be given any commands. You have to use the commands that you used in the previous labs. We will be covering everything on these later on. So this quest has around six labs, and actually for these online sessions, we will go through only just 5 of them. As I mentioned before, the challenge you have to complete the challenge lab yourself, and you will need your 600 credits that we claimed to access these labs. In case someone is having some issues with the credits, please join our Slack and just DM me or ping anyone there. Okay, so now let me just share the schedule for the rest of the program. Every Tuesday, starting next week, we will be having some these study jam sessions. Actually, we will just create a poll on Slack about which time suits you the best, and we will conduct them either on Google Meet like we are doing right now, or we can just do a YouTube live stream. We will just share all of that, and we are planning on conducting 2 study jams per week, one on Tuesday and one every Friday. Apart from that, we are planning to take some doubt sessions on Sunday in case you are having some issues with any labs, or if you are facing some difficulties with the challenge lab or anything. Just please ping me or anyone from Team DSC in the Slack, and we will just compile a list of the doubts that you have, and we will go through each and every one of them together. And once we reach November 5th, the program will end. And if you have completed at least one of the tracks or 2 tracks, like if you are eligible for the swag, we will ask the Google Cloud team to ship the certificates and goodies to your doorstep. We will actually also share a form to upgrade your address in case you wrote the wrong address or something. Also, this was mostly about the 30 days of cloud challenge, like from what we got, but because we are DSC, we have some additional perks. And soon enough, we will be creating our leaderboard, which would be similar to how you can see on the right side of the screen, to keep a track of your progress, and let's see who are the top 5 students. And if you would like to participate there, you can actually just visit this URL to fill out this form. And actually, let me just help you. Someone will just share the link. Can someone? Yeah, Saurabh will share the link. You can just open this link. You can actually just do it right now if you like. Let me just walk you through everything. Yep, it's bit.ly/30 days leaderboard. Right? Okay. I guess this is easy. Like first, you have to write your name. I will just write mine, Ishan, and make sure to use the email address which you used while signing up or enrolling for the program. In my case, it's something like this. And in case if yours is any different, just use that one. And now you have to use your Kickoff's public profile URL. You have to submit that. Please make sure. Actually, I noticed that when we published that internal queries form, some of the people wrote wrong URLs, and there were some issues with that. So let me actually just walk you through how you can get your public profile URL easily. So once you are logged into a Google Labs.com account, you just have to click this My Learning button on the left sidebar here. And once you do this, you should be able to see this View Public Profile button on the top right. If you're not able to see this button, just please make sure to go to the quiz that we shared before, or just any of these, and enroll yourself. Then you should be able to see this. Click this one, and there should be a long address in your address bar, browser address bar. You can just select all of this, copy this, and paste it here. That's it. Like, it was very simple, you guys. And if you like to participate in the leaderboard contest, you can just click yes. And we also actually plan to we also actually sent out a few calendar invites and all to a few people who have joined today. And but if you would like to receive all those calendar invites or updates for future study jam sessions every Tuesday and every Friday, you can just click yes, and we will send you an invite so that you don't miss out. And please share your feedback if you like. How did you find this entire session, and how was I like? Just rate me or this entire session on a scale of 1 to 5. And if you have any suggestions or feedback, please feel free to write that. But before we actually, if you have any questions, please wait. We will be having a session soon. I mean, just after 2 minutes, you will be taking up all the queries and questions. Okay. Would anyone like to share how many quests they have completed till now? Has anyone completed the first quest? Oh, great, Jagmeet. You have completed 3 quests or 3 labs? Oh, sorry. Yeah. Okay. That's great, guys. You just have to you just have to complete. In case if you have completed just 1 quest, you just have to complete 5 more to get those swags and skill badges. And in other cases, just do 6 - n, where n is your number of labs that you have completed, number of quests that you have completed, and let's get some t-shirts. And trust me, it's really cool to actually show off these Google goodies and t-shirts in your college life and all that. Like people will think of you as a unique person. मतलब like तेरा ध्यान किधर है, तेरा हीरो इधर है, उस तरह का कुछ. So they will actually just rotate their faces and मुड़ के देखेंगे तुम्हें. So करना तो कर लो guys. Okay, Sarthi. Okay, let's take some questions now. Sarthi has a question. Please tell me, apart from goodies, how can it be beneficial to me personally? Not for jobs and all, but how can you use cloud services at a small level? Yep, that's a great question, Sarthi. Actually, see, it totally depends upon your use case scenario. If you're planning to create some website or anything, let's say you are trying to create a website like Netflix, or you're trying to create something like Chalkpad, that one that we have in our university, or something else, and you need a backend for it, and we also need a database for that, and there's a bunch of other stuff that involves around creating an app or a successful product. In those cases, you can use the power of cloud. And actually, for me personally, I started using cloud when I was trying to host my website, ishandeveloper.com, and I was trying to host my blog and all. At that time, I was not able to find many good, like there are lots of services I know, these hosting services, GoDaddy, hosting, and all of this, but they don't give you this much feasibility which cloud gives you. Cloud is basically just another computer which you can utilize sitting somewhere in other part of the world. I will share a personal one, a personal fun fact. Like I don't attend my classes, like the classes which are running, which our college is connected right now. I never I won't say never, but I don't attend most of my classes. I have actually written a Python bot, a Selenium bot script, which which is running as a cron job on a server in the US, on AWS server, on one of my personal EC2 instances. That script runs itself at around 11 a.m. 11 a.m. IST. Like I have a class at 11, so that script executes itself, runs a cron job, and that takes up my attends my classes and all. So that is how I attend the classes. And you can just do lots of amazing and cool stuff. Uh, like your imagination is the limit. I would say cloud is this limitless. Okay, let's take up some more questions. What do we have here? Okay, so Karan said I have just joined a little bit late, so I just wanted to know about what's going on. So Karan, we will be we will be uploading a recording of this session soon uh, on our YouTube channel, DSC site. Actually, you can just we will be uploading it later on tonight. You can just watch this in the morning. No worries. Shaurya asked how many total credits would be needed to complete both tracks. Okay, Shaurya, actually, I calculated this on my own, and completing both the tracks actually requires around I would that what was the exact number? Yeah, 336 credits. But we have given you 600 credits just in case you are not able to complete some lab in your first attempt or in all those cases. And even let's say even like you are able to complete both the tracks and you have finished the program like it's 6th of November and the program has ended, you can still use the remaining credits for all your activities on Quick Labs and others. Garima said, can we attempt the challenge lab more than once? Yes, Garima, sure, you can. Like, I will say this, like, the first time I was attempting my challenge lab, I had to attempt it around 3 times before I was able to complete that one. That was not related to creating cloud resources, but that was some other case. Okay, okay, is there any other question? From the third, okay, Jagreet is asking, from the third quest onwards, the labs are expert level, literally. So how do we do that apart from copy pasting? See, Jagreet, the thing is, like I know, what I did when I first started with the quick labs and all, I just used to copy paste all the commands and complete those labs. But I think that's not the best way to approach. Like you would be able to get all the swags and all other things and would be able to earn a skill back. But thing is, when you are working in the industry, let's say your recruiter wants you to use AWS, they don't want you to use Google Cloud, or let's say they want you to use Microsoft Azure. So in those cases, you can't just reply to them that sorry, I only know GCP. I can't work with any other providers and all, right? You can't say I don't know the commands. Whenever you're attending any lab or anything, just make sure to grasp the fundamental concepts on how things are working, and instead of copying pasting, try to learn the basic concepts, trying to grasp the basic concepts behind that, and that will benefit in the long run. Okay, any more questions? Link of Google Club of Chitkara where I can complete 5 labs. There is no such link. You have to enroll in the quiz. I'm sure somebody might have answered your question. Okay. What type of quests are there? Okay, Varun, actually, a quiz consists of around a bunch of labs, and you just have to complete these labs in the order, like the instructions are specified there. Okay, I guess all of the questions are resolved. How to set up a point-to-point VPN? Okay, okay, sure, Sathi, let me just share that. If you like to contact me, you can just use my handle @Ishan developer. You can reach out to me on Twitter or LinkedIn or Instagram or anything, whatever works. Or actually, the best way to reach out to me would be to join our Slack channel and just DM me or ping me there. Yep. Thanks, Mahesh. Shivam, actually setting up a point-to-point VPN is beyond the scope of this. But what you can do with cloud is actually you can use a VPS instead, a virtual private server. Like you can have your own server, instance of a virtual machine, sitting somewhere in US or Netherlands or Denmark or something, and you can just SSH into that one and use that. Using P2P VPN is, I don't think it's that easy with these remote servers and cloud. You have to set up a lot of things, which I believe is the beyond of this whole program. But please reach out to me personally and we can discuss it. Thanks, Abhishek. Thanks, Varun. Okay, thanks everyone. Thanks, Nishan. Uh, you, Nisham said I have my own setup in my house. Nginx. Okay, if you use Nginx, you might also know about Apache and others. Actually, there's this OpenSSH server that you can use for this VPS and all. Actually, that will get a lot more confusing for all the other participants. Please reach out to me on Slack. And thank you, everyone. I hope that answers all your queries. That was it for this session, and you can leave now. Thank you. See you guys later. I hope it was helpful to you. Thanks.